Life is all about how you perform. How you perform in your body, how you perform in your mind, and how you perform from your soul. I'm Jessica Kitura, and this is Performance Yoga. Thank you for choosing this yoga video to help guide you through your practice today. Roll out your mat, set an intention, and take your deepest breath. This 20-minute sequence is really for everyone and anyone who wants to get on their mat, open up their hips, and do some deep breathing. We're starting in a cross-legged seated position. Sit bones are grounded into the mat, and hands are rested comfortably on our legs. Sitting up nice and tall, we're inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And take this time to set an intention for your practice and for the rest of your day. If sitting in meditation is new to you, or your head is filled with thoughts as soon as you sit down and try and focus on your breath, you can try a counting exercise. So inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 2 counts, exhaling for 6, and holding for 2. So let's try that all together. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold for 2. Let's try that again. Inhale for 2, 3, 4, hold for 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold for 2. Keep your focus on your breath as you inhale and exhale a few more times before we get ready to move our body. You may want to drop your chin down to your chest and just take a moment for gratitude. Maybe you bring your hands to your heart and your stomach. And just be grateful that you took this time out of your day to come to your mat and show appreciation for your body. One more deep inhale. And exhale it all out as we begin to move our body and come to a wide-legged forward fold posture. Make sure that you have your feet a comfortable distance apart. You don't want to be too wide in this stance, and your hands are planted directly below your shoulders and shoulder width apart. Take a moment to just work out the kinks, find proper alignment in this posture. Make sure that your feet aren't too wide apart. And we're going to start dipping into one hip and then the other. So bend into one knee and just create some movement from within the hips, keeping the hands planted on the mat in front of you as you bend down into one knee and then the other. Coming through center and into our wide-legged forward fold. So drop the head down to the mat. Release the tension in the back of the neck. Pushing up through your palms to a flat back posture, we're going to do some cat-cows. So we're still in our wide-legged stance, and you might not get as much movement in the spine as you do in the traditional cat-cow when we're in our tabletop position, but we're still working through as much spinal flexion and extension as possible and still working with the breath. So when you're in your cat position and you're pushing up through your spine, you're exhaling, inhaling as you come to your sway back or cow position. You drop the belly down to the mat and look up to the sky. Inhale as you look up. And exhale as you drop everything, drop the head down, push the spine up towards the sky. A few more rounds of our cat-cow here. Breathing deep, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Finishing up your last round. And we're going to meet in our flat back position. Bring the right hand to the center of the mat, right below your face, and left hand goes all the way up to the sky. Look up towards your left hand. And bring the left hand back down to replace the right hand. Right hand goes up this time, looking up towards that top hand. When you're ready, right hand comes down to the mat and drop the head all the way down for one last wide-legged forward fold. We're down in our forward fold for only another breath, so if you can, go a little bit deeper on your next exhale before pushing up through the palms and coming into Warrior One on the right side. So you're going to rotate the feet to the front of your mat. Walk your hands all the way forward. Plant your back foot at a 45-degree angle and bring your hands all the way up to the sky. Warrior One. Breathe deep here as you drop down into the pelvis with each exhale. From here, we're coming down into lizard pose. So bring the hands down to the mat, but bring the right arm on the inside of the right foot. You're going to drop the back knee down to the mat and open up the right sole of the foot and let the knee fall heavy down towards the mat. This is lizard pose. Again, you're dropping in through the pelvis, opening up through the hips, keeping the chest nice and high. If you want to make this pose active and create a little movement, that's fine. Sway your hips back and forth, rock your shoulders back and forth. If it doesn't feel good to have movement in this posture, just stay still and stick with it. We're only here for another breath before we're going to very carefully bring the knee back up so that the sole of the foot plants onto the mat. Frame the foot with the hands, bring the back leg up, and walk back through our wide-legged forward fold onto the left side. So this time we are left foot forward in our Warrior One. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Hands are to the sky and dropping through the pelvis as we breathe deep. Stay strong in this posture. We're only here for another breath before we move into our lizard pose. On the exhale, bring the hands down with the left hand on the inside of the left foot. Drop the back knee down, open up through the sole of the foot of the left foot as you drop your left knee down towards the mat. Lizard pose. Keep the chest high here, deep breathing. Activate this pose if you'd like. Same as on the right side, you can rock back and forth through the shoulders, sway back and forth through the hips. See if you can find any spots that are really sticky in there and just try and work through them. Or you can stay perfectly still, just focusing on your breath. Yogi's choice. Holding here for another breath cycle before we're going to very mindfully start to pick up the left leg. Bring the sole of the foot back towards the mat as we frame the front foot, pick up the back knee, and walk back through our forward fold. We're going to heel toe the feet in into a standing forward fold. And drop the head. Release any tension you're holding in the back of the neck. From here, we're going to work through our downward dog series. So take another breath in your forward fold. See if you can drop the hands a little bit closer to the mat with each exhale. And when you're ready, planting the hands into the mat, step, hop, or jump back into your plank position. And slow chaturanga down, keeping the elbows tucked close into the side body. Keep breathing and untuck the toes, upward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, push it all the way back through your downward facing dog. Walk it out here a little bit, sway back and forth through the hips, bend into one knee and then the other. One more breath here before we come up into our three-legged dog. So right leg comes all the way up. Equal weight distribution through the hands. Bend into the right knee and swing the leg all the way down and through into your pigeon pose. Keep the chest high. Breathing deep in through the nose. On the exhale, you can bring the elbows down to the mat. Holding here for a few more breaths. Stick with it. And when you're ready, planting the hands into the mat, coming back up. And swing the left hand all the way around to grab the left foot. If you have a strap, this would be a great time to use a strap if you can't quite reach your foot. If not, you can stay in your pigeon pose or whatever variation you choose. Coming into our log pile pose, you're going to release the left foot, kind of rock your weight onto the right hip as you swing the left leg all the way around and work on stacking your legs in your log pile pose. So we're trying for ankle over knee alignment and knee over ankle alignment. So you want to line your legs up so that they kind of resemble a log pile. Working on our breathing in this posture, sitting up nice and tall. We're planted, grounded through the sit bones. As we begin to move out of this posture, please be very mindful as you use your hands to pick up your legs and move them if they're very stiff. And meeting in our standing pose at the top of our mat, coming down into our forward fold. Walk it out here a little bit as you drop the head down towards the mat. Plant your hands into the mat. And when we come into our plank this time, I want you to hop your feet all the way back into your plank. Woo! Give it a little test, see how it goes. Maybe it needs some work. Chaturanga down, keep the elbows tucked in close to the side body, and upward facing dog. Tuck the back toes under and push back through the hips into your downward facing dog. Again, we're going to take a moment here to walk it out. Walk the dog, bend into one knee and then the other. Take a few deep breaths in this slight inversion before bringing the left leg all the way up into your three-legged dog. Bend into the knee and all the way through and forward through the arms into your pigeon pose. It's okay if you don't land perfectly in each of these postures. Take a moment to readjust, to adjust your body, to check in with your legs, check in with your hips. Again, if you're coming down towards the mat to rest on your elbows, you can do so now. And if you so choose, bringing the right arm back towards the right leg, hooking that inside of the right foot. Holding here for a few more seconds before we work towards coming into our log pile pose. This time the opposite leg will be on the bottom of your log pile, so swing that right leg all the way around and come to your ankle to knee, knee to ankle alignment, sitting up nice and tall. Sit bones are grounded into the mat, using your hands to press down on your knee and your ankle. Once again, very mindfully using your hands to move out of this posture. And we will come to meet on our back, on our mat, in our final pose before Shavasana. Bring the legs up to the chest and just give them a little bit of a tuck to make sure that your spine is fully supported by the mat before we come into Happy Baby. You can grab onto the toes here as you let the legs fall out wide. You can grab the ankles, the calves, the feet, wherever is most comfortable. You can rock back and forth, side to side, front to back. You can make this pose active or still, yogi's choice. Continue with your deep breathing here, inhaling through your nose, deep breath, exhaling through your mouth. Big inhale. And on your next exhale, bring your knees to your chest, hug them in as close as you can, give a little rock back and forth. When you're ready, releasing your legs and letting your feet come all the way down to the mat into your Shavasana. Make sure you take a few minutes in your Shavasana. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.